Mountain View Funeral Home and Cemetery knows how important it is to honor our fallen soldiers, and that's why they're here to tell us about their 22nd annual Memorial Day event. Hillary, Alyssa, how are you two doing?
Good, how are you?
So before we talk about the event that's coming up, let's talk about planning, and especially something that's coming up right now. May is the time to start doing some planning for the loved ones or yourself for funerals. And I know we were talking about, some people think that's a sad time, but really the programs that you have and the events that you do and the workshop that's coming up, it really walks people through that, so it's more so they can celebrate that person.
Right. I want to share a personal story, and then I'm going to have Hillary talk about the sensitive side. One of my colleagues just had a birthday, so I took on call for her. And a gentleman lost his mom, and he was a basket case. And I promised him everything was going to be okay. And he goes, I know it's going to be okay because my mom has this all planned and done ahead of time already. And he kind of carried on about how much she loved him and said, you know, I could not do this without everything being all ready and prepared. And it just made me feel so warm-hearted that he knew how much his mom loved him because her plans were in place.
Yeah.
So I'll let Hillary talk about the sensitive side of life.
Yeah, Hillary, this is so important, especially right now as we're starting to see our families getting older. We're seeing, I'll say, people having complications from COVID and not knowing what's going to happen. And so the planning time is now, and this sensitive event that you guys do is very important.
It is. We started the Sensitive Side of Life program. It's a workshop where everybody receives a workbook, and we walk them through vital statistics, walking them through the vital information that's needed for that, what needs to be closed out after a funeral, which a lot of people, there's a lot of things, you know, do you have a pool guy or telephone company, things like that. So it's an hour-long workshop, and we're having one on May 19th, and it's all on our website.
Yeah, and I think some people think, well, I don't want to think about this, I don't want to plan it because then it happens. But we're finding out, and I'll be one of these people, that my mother planned hers, and she's still going strong. And it's kind of interesting with that it's not where we planned it, you know, and she was going to be passing away. She's going strong, but everything's in place, like you said, so we don't have to worry.
Right. It's always awkward when you're sitting down because you're thinking about your own demise or you're thinking about your parents if they're planning it with you. But once it's done, there's this overwhelming sense of peace and comfort and relief.
Yeah.
And it's important to get it done. File it away, and then it's just there whenever that time comes. But it is certainly by no means bad juju or bad taste. It's actually quite the opposite. It's actually a good feeling to get it taken care of.
Yeah, and our parent company, Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance, they actually have a program that you can start paying into that will take care of the funeral needs, so that burden's taken off of your family at that time, which is great too. And I know they work well with everybody with that, so it's a great program to be into. And so the sensitive program seminar is when again?
May 19th from 11 to 12
so,
at New Hope Community Center.
There you go, something that you definitely want to get into. Okay, let's talk about Memorial Day. This is so amazing, and you're smiling because you know how the community comes together to honor our men and women who have fallen, which is so amazing. And so this is the 22nd annual one, which is great. But it's not just about honoring our men and women who are fallen. It's also about taking care of those who are still with us. And you guys have some great things you're doing with that.
Yes.
We do. We have our annual toiletry drive, which has just grown over the years. So we're looking to help our homeless veterans, collecting toiletries, toothpaste, deodorant, even flip-flops. You see a lot of people out there with no shoes, so we want them taken care of. And it's a great way you can drop it off at the funeral home.
Yeah, and we have the information right there on the board right now. But this is an annual drive too, and you see everything they need. Taking donations up until the 30th, so they can start dropping off now and you send them over there. And that moves us into the event that's going to be happening. Let's talk a little about that.
That's on May 30th at 9 a.m. We have the Josh Roy Band who's coming and performing to entertain people beforehand. This year we have a very special surprise. I don't know if Elisa wants to talk about that.
So every year we try to bring something back to the community with the oh wow. So we are going to actually have a helicopter landing right inside our cemetery, and we're going to have one of our veterans get off the helicopter, and we're going to celebrate all of our military as well as all of those that have passed away.
Wow, that is so great to be doing there, and it's so important. Now let's talk about the volunteering, because you're asking for volunteers because it's a very big cemetery to go and put flags in. We know that sometimes the Boy Scouts go out, we have different groups that go out, but we need more help And so you're asking people when to come out and do that?
On May 28th, and this weekend, we were so fortunate. We had Boy Scout Troop 777 from Santan Valley. They came out and we removed all the old stickers and put new veteran stickers, which helps people flag the graves. So on May 28th at 6 a.m., I know it's early, but we bring donuts. We were asking people to come out and line the graves with the flags for our veterans.
Yeah, and it's a great thing to do, because what's really neat is that you learn the history of those veterans, and you learn the history of how they, fought for our country. And what I like about this memorial is that the fallen, soldiers, men and women's families actually come out. And we always talk about hearing the stories of how they defended our country and what they did. And so it's a nice time to come out for everybody to learn what our men and women did for our country. And it's great that you're doing this. So, okay, let's make sure we get the dates back up there again. I know we don't have the date for the sensitive seminar, but that is again May
19th.
19th.
It is on our website.
Okay, and then the flags go in.
May 28th at 6 a.m.
All right, and then the event is right there on the screen, May 30th, starting at 9 a.m. over at the Mountain View Funeral Home and Cemetery. So the information's around the board. Thank you, ladies, for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
What a great day.
It is.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Come on back. We got more Mix right after this.